this party started. Working on something a bit different. This is an M1V video board by Maygay. It's built around the 68,000. That makes it a 16-bit system. Basically that means you've got two everything. You've got two program ROMs. In this case 4. And you've got 2 RAM. The reason you do that is because you've got 2 banks. You've got one bank for the lower 8 bits and one bank for the upper 8 bits. Makes it a little bit of a pain when you're downloading ROMs etc. because each ROM only contains half of the code. You need software to merge them, which the 68,000 does very nicely. Also see we've got a video display processor down here. We've got this 68-pin flat pack and some DRAM. Looks like there's one missing. What's that? 4464? Yeah, 4464. So this is a... yeah, there's a socket down there. This is a video display circuit right here. And a few familiar faces. We've got an 8279 here, and this arrangement here looks very suspiciously like a Maygay lamp and switch circuit. So that should be easy enough. Got some other things as well. We've got a 6821 and a 6861, but they're not in their natural habitat. I don't recognise the circuits around them, so I will need to look at the schematics to see what is going on. So, complaint is, doesn't start. Now, I've actually had this powered up already, and it was randomly resetting, but I done a couple of things to it. I added an inductor here because, well, I added a wire link here to replace the inductor because it's just a small suppressor, but it filters noise from the power supply to the video circuit, and I disabled the watchdog there. When I disabled the watchdog and stopped it randomly resetting, I got a pulse coming from pin 9 of U9 there. U9s are just a little HC259. That's pretty much the same as U11 on a Mega M1A, B, etc. That's a really, really good sign. It means that the board is able to execute code. So whatever problem we've got with this board is coming from somewhere in the I/O section or the interrupts. It's also got this ROM expansion card here. I believe they call that the question card. It's basically got the... no. It's the graphics ROMs. That's handy. Yeah, so that contains all the graphics information. I didn't notice that. My friends were calling that the question card. Maybe it's the graphics for the questions, I don't know. But anyways, we've also got no real sound circuits whatsoever. They're on a separate card, which I don't have. But I don't think that'll be quite a roadblock to me. Okay, I won't be able to playtest this thing, but I don't need to playtest it. The goal of this is to get the video up and running. And then we can move on from there. So first port of call is, I've got a DRAM here spare for this, so let's get a DRAM on this. Let's get this all hooked up to a screen of some sorts, which isn't going to be 100% easy because Maygay used a weird type of video, 18 kilohertz or something. So your little GBS 8000 upscales that you buy off eBay are not going to cut it. Ooh, joy. Need to buy an industrial type converter, which isn't going to be cheap, but, well, hey ho. We can sell it after the video. Or it can be given to the owner of this after the video and he can decide what to do with it. But anyways, I'm going to get this DRAM in here get it hooked up and see what, if anything, it does. Right, here's the setup. Super expensive XVGA box. That's going to have to pay for itself in the long run. Maygay power supply. Power supply for the XVGA box. I'm just using a PC power supply and I've hacked in a twin lead. Doesn't fit very well, but if you kind of manipulate it enough, I'll get a proper power supply for it in due course. Big monitor. I do have an actual 4x3 monitor, but it's not working on the VGA output for some reason. I'll have to look into that. And that's about it. So we've got a standard VGA connection, goes up to the monitor, and then we've got the lead comes round into our M1 video board here. And this is about as Chinese as you can get. They've messed up the wire colours at the factory and then they put labels on the wires to tell you what they are. And they've got it wrong anyway. Even if I follow the labels, this blue wire is supposed to be the composite sync. It's not. It's that grey wire there. Anyways, fire it up. And we're getting video of a sorts. That looks a lot like resetting, but it's not, and I'll show you what I mean. If I go, sorry, I'm a lot about out of practice, fellas. That's the watchdog reset. Now what I mean by watchdog reset is that's a pulse that's going over the reset circuit over there to stop the watchdog timing out and resetting the board. So that is a really, really, really good sign, because that means that the board's executing code. All of this, the 68,000, the ROM and the RAM, and all the ROM and RAM access, they're all working. It's something on the I/O side. Now, I don't think it's anything to do with the 68681, because a line comes off that from the power supply through a transistor to detect for a missing pulse, like mains failure, like the NMI you get on a M1A board. And I've checked that, and that's working. It's pin 9 or pin 37 or something, can't quite remember. But I did check it and it is working. If that wasn't there, the board would, well, that's basically, this watchdog line here wouldn't run, because it would be trying to reset the board. But the game code isn't trying to reset. Game code is working. What that screams of, and if you look very, very carefully at my converter box's display, it measures the sync. You see how the sync's coming in and out? When it decides to focus. It can be a bit tricky to focus on it. There it goes. See it going back and forth, in and out, in and out, in and out. The video processor's resetting. It's probably got its own internal reset. Now this thing is smoking hot. Struggling to keep my finger on that. But I don't think that's a problem, because it should be, it's running at a fair speed to do all the heavy lifting for all the graphics and everything. Remember, it's got to pull the graphics off of here, load it up into these DRAM, and then convert all the video signals to go out to the screen, as well as dealing with handshaking between itself and the 68,000 through, I think it's there's a couple of gates and stuff over here. So the other thing, I think there's a problem with either the RAM access or the RAM itself, and I'll tell you why. Two of the data bits are over here. I think it's pin 15 and 17. It's an 18 pin RAM. It just looks ever so slightly messed up. It's almost like a line shorted somewhere. Keep going up. Some of them are okay. Where's one? Oh, look at that one. There's something screwing up the data bus to this video processor, I think, and I think that's causing it to have an internal reset and go, nope, something's wrong here, I've got to try again. Right, so it's not the missing RAM because I fitted it. And I tested that RAM in Retro Chip Tester and it is good. But I've got another one. Focus, you bugger. This camera's having a bit of a problem with focus. It's probably all that. It's probably all this flashing here. Anyway, I've got another one. So, old school trick. You can piggyback any logic IC, including RAM. So I'm going to piggyback these RAM one at a time and see if anything makes a difference. So let's just do it live. So we're off. Got to make sure we get it right way around. Don't want to piggyback that one. Sorry, I keep taking, I'm out of practice here. I keep taking the camera away. Basically what you're doing piggybacking is, if there's a line on a chip that's struggling, you won't necessarily get your equipment or board or whatever working by piggybacking. What you're looking for is a change in behaviour. So this isn't going to fix it, it's just going to be a change in behaviour. So we've now got that in the U32 position. Notches at the top. Does it make a difference? No. So almost upwards. We'll work up the chain. Because basically what you're doing here is, if you've got a weak line, like a floating output or an output that's trying to go to ground or go up to 5 volt, the working chip's going to fight it. Now, believe in the great style of logic circuits that a good chip can pull a stuck line down, but it can't pull it up. I may have that the wrong way around. But anyway, say there's a line, if I've got that the right way around, say there's a line stuck at 5 volt, this will try and pull it down. And then you might see something different up here. Like I said, it's by no means going to sort it, but anyway, we are now in U30, what? U38. Checking again the notches right around. Checking as well that all the pins are lined up. Because if you've got a pin off, say like you're off to one side or the other, then piggyback is pretty pointless. That made it worse. Now, knowing that made it worse, keep U38 in mind. Oh, I'm stuck now. I can't get it off. Oop, just make sure I've not bent anything. Let's go up one. Just take our time. Next. I'm going to say no change. It's just black instead of white. Continue. We're now on 39. Same again. And I noticed the sync speeds all over the place. Ooh, it's gay. I've got it piggybacked on too good. Might have skipped two, but never mind. Let's check. All black now. A little bit different. We've got a fancy graphic up there. See it? But it's still not doing anything meaningful. Look, we've got no VSync. Well, it's not fast enough. So this video processor's still not happy. Okay, take off. Just check we're not bent any pins. I should be wearing a wrist strap, by the way. Naughty boy here, I should be wearing a wrist strap. The purists will throttle me. We're now in U40. I think we had paid our U40. Then you know what I said about it not fixing it? Well, U40 fucking has. Excuse my language, but this video is not made for kids anyway. Looks like I'm getting the soldering iron out to change that chip. There. Happy. Got one. There's some boards easy to work on. I've just desoldered that and it's lifting right out of the board. Joy to work on this soldering wise. Right. U40's been replaced. And I've kept the original because I'm going to put it in the chip tester. Gold Star memory. That doesn't bode well for future projects. I bought a load of Gold Star Z80s for cheap. I wonder why they were cheap. Maybe because they're a bit rubbish. Well, we'll see anyway, but this was definitely the problem, I think, because if I fire up now, and we'll do it live on a screen. There we are. As we have just noticed, we have got a bit of a sound circuit here. Whereas at some minute ago, yeah, we've got a YM2413 here, and we've got a big amp here. Wonder if this is making any noise right now. I'm going to put a speaker on this. Just turn it off and out. Yeah, so I tested it. I don't know there's sound pins there. There's no sound coming from there. It must come from the reel and sound card. But I'm going to call it a win for the minute because that's a crystal clear alarm. Just goes to show you that pesky thing. Let's put that in the retro chip tester and see what it says about it. Oh, what an eye bleeder that is. Can you imagine being an operator in an arcade and staring at that all day when the machine developed a fault? Let's turn it off for now. God, look how dusty that chair's gone today. Right, shall we do it live again? So we're 4464 that's lost its marbles in there. Left-handed as well, I might add. Next I'm holding the camera with the right. Right, let's see. We want RAM. And we're looking for 4464. Does it do it? That could be transistor. It could also be NSCR. Still like what these huge wire links are down here. Yep, there it is. Right. That's where the mains goes in, isn't it? So there's a bridge. I think, yeah, because this is the mains fuse. There we've got 4 diodes, so that's going to be bridge rectifier. So maybe it is switch mode. I don't know. And it's dead. Completely dead. All 4 bits are shot. Anyway, I'm just going to kind of explains why the memory wasn't working. That thing. Glorified tiny brick. Thought I might just end the video showing off what Screenplay looks like, and you can see why it needs all those banks of RAM. I thought this was just going to show some basic graphics up here, but it's actually very detailed. There's a lot going on. I'll play a few games. That's actually a very nice game. You can see why the owner wants to get it going. We'll do our best for him. See how it gives you a wee delay there, it shows you all the cards. See, in this day and age, you just photograph the bloody screen as it shows them. There. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, lovely title. Right, so I don't think I'm ever going to get it to the stage where I can play test it. No, unless I actually build half the thing on stripboard. The real controller I've got, I could probably do that on stripboard. Or I could do the processor side of it and then come up with something weird to like do a sort of heart bypass on a Maygay in one board. But for the minute, the thing is running, it's working to the point where it shows meter error. So we've got the basic complaints fixed. We've got it up, and we've got the video display processor running. So that is a win. It's what, 3:30 in the morning, so that's the only one we're going to get tonight. There'll probably be a part 2 of this, where we try and do some other stuff where get it past the meter check, get it to real check, all that good stuff. But for the minute, I'm signing off. If you like the video, leave a comment and please subscribe to the vids. Big shout out to the band featured in the intro for allowing me to use a tiny little snippet of their music from my projects. No money's ever made for these projects, no money ever will be. These are my gift to you guys. I'm not expecting to monetize these videos or make anything off them. These are just my hobby and my way of passing time, getting into scrapes with electrical stuff, all in the name of entertainment and to help you guys solve problems. But that's all from me. That's all from Screenplay for the minute. And bye bye for the moment.
There's a magic in the air, and I can feel it.